Heya, welcome to Zville Lessons for Live channel. My name is Xander Villain, and today we're going to be covering the Rolling Stones' Wild Horses. Now, we're going to do this in two parts. The first part is going to be for the intermediate players, and the second part will be for the beginners, where I take a lot more time to break down how the chords are played, where they're at on the neck, how I do things, strumming patterns, and so on. If you want to jump ahead of that section, go ahead and click on the link down in the description section. Click on the time code where it says beginner section. Click on that, it'll jump ahead in the video. So let's get right into it. Hey, welcome to the intermediate section of the lesson for wild horses. To start with the beginning, basically it's a G on the high end, down to an A minor, which they use a lot in the song. A minor is the main A, there's no other A in the song. Does that, I think, twice. And then when the vocals start, it goes to a B minor. So let's go ahead and start there. So B minor to a G. Childhood living. Again, down to a G. Does that twice. Then it goes to that A minor. Up to a C. Up to a D. Down to a G. Bought them for. Back to that D. G, back to that B, G, now it repeats that A part. I could not left you, G, slide through my hand. Here's the chorus, goes to that A minor, wild C, couldn't drag me, that's an F there. So what it does is after it does that, wild horses to the D and G, down to the F and up to C, walk down. So that's your walk down in the middle of the two lines in the chorus. You can do it any way you want. I kind of do it like this. So once again, the chorus is A to a C, C, D, G down to an F. And I don't do the full bar. I do the top end. C. So it's wild horses couldn't drag me, A, C, walk down. Wild, wild horses couldn't drag me away. Now it does this thing between F and C. It's got a little lead section in it. I think it kind of does the same thing. When I play it live, I actually change it up. The first time I do this, and then I go back into a full verse. Now remember, there's all kinds of harmonics in this song too. I'm not going to get into what they are, but basically they're somewhere around there. If you don't know about harmonics, you should know about it if you're intermediate. But it's basically right on the 7th fret and the 12th fret. You'll get a lot of harmonics. Go ahead and play around with that while you listen to the song, and you'll find out what harmonics they're doing. They're basically doing the G harmonic over the G, or the A harmonic over an A. You know what I mean? So that's the basics of the song. So a couple of the things that I think that they're doing as far as fills go on the strings would be when you're doing this A, they kind of add this G on top of it when they... something like that. And then during the something like that, which is using your G, taking your ring finger off, keeping the G here, and then just going up on your B string. and your G string. So that's some of the fills that you can do. You can also kind of play around up here. Or go to both of those. That's it for the intermediate section. If you want to check out more, go ahead and go to the beginner section. Let's go there right now. Hey there, welcome to the beginner section of the song Wild Horses by the Rolling Stones. So right now I'm just going to kind of show you the chords, and then I'll work you through the progressions of both the verse and the chorus. To start with, it's got an A minor, it's got a C, it's got a D, it's got a G. You can do it that way too if you want, but most of the time it's played that way with both fingers on there. It starts off the vocals on a B minor, which is your toughest chord for this song. If you're new, this is going to be your hardest one. You can also do it like this. I'll show you the difference, but you can't get away with just the top strings on this one. You really got to be able to play at least that, if not the full bar chord. And then it's got an F, which is the same as a G barred. You can move down to an F, but I always take this off. I don't like doing that. There's your F. It's basically a bar chord without the top 6th string. And then it's got like this funky walk down in the middle of the chorus where it goes. It's going from a C to an open B, but you're leaving your index finger up here, and then down to your A. So your index finger never comes off. So let me show you how to do these chords, and then we'll show you how to play the song. If you want to jump ahead a little bit, you can if you already know how to play all these chords. But for you beginners, here's an A chord. Basically consists of the bottom 5 strings, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, ignoring your top string, which is your 6th string. You leave your A open, which is your 5th string for your A chord. Then you put your your middle finger on the 2nd fret of your 4th string, your ring finger on the 2nd fret of your 3rd string, and your index finger on the 1st fret of your 2nd string, and leave the bottom string, which is your 1st string, open. So 1st fret of your 2nd string, 2nd fret of your 3rd and 4th, leaving your 5th open. That's an A minor chord. Your next chord is going to be your C chord. You can leave your index finger right on the 1st fret of your 2nd string, leave your 1st string open, leave your G string, which is your 3rd string, open. Then you're going to put your middle finger on the 2nd fret of your 4th string, right there, and your ring finger on the 3rd fret of your 5th string, and just do the bottom 5 strings again, ignoring the 6th on the top. That's your C chord. The next one is your D chord, which hopefully you guys know these already, but I'll show you real quick just in case you don't. You're doing your bottom 4 strings now, not your 5. You're ignoring the 6th and the 5th. You're leaving your D, which is your 4th string, open. You're putting your index finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, your ring finger on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, and your middle finger on the 2nd fret of your 1st string, and playing the bottom 4 strings. That's your D chord. The next one is your G chord. That is going to be your pinky and your ring finger on the 3rd fret of the 1st and 2nd string, leaving the middle 2 open right here, which is your 3rd and 4th string. Then on your 5th string, you're going to put your index finger on the 2nd fret on your 5th, and your middle finger on the 3rd fret of your 6th string. Now this chord, you play all 6 strings. That's a beautiful G chord right there. If you want to make it a little easier, because there are parts in here that you could learn to flam into, kind of hammer-ons and pull-offs, you could just play the bottom 4 strings and just do your 2 fingers. That way you can do by taking your ring finger off, leaving your pinky on. That's also, you could play a G that way too. Instead of having both fingers on there, just put your ring finger or your pinky on the 3rd fret of the 1st string only. They're both G chords. I'm not sure the difference in major, minor. Maybe this is a major, that's a 7th or something like that. I'm not sure, so don't quote me. I showed you that B already. Oh, I haven't actually. Okay, so the B is your tough one. It's the bottom 5 strings, and it is index finger across all 5, but you're only worried about getting this one and these 2, but really only the bottom one. So the 5th and the 1st string, it's kind of tough for me too. See, once it's in position, I get it a little easier. Then you're going to take your, so that's on your 2nd fret of your 5th string. Then you're going to put your ring finger on the 4th fret of your 4th string, your pinky finger on the 4th fret of your 3rd string. See that? Right there and right there. Then your middle finger is going to go on the 3rd fret of your 2nd string. And then once again, your index finger is going to be laid across the 2nd fret of your 1st string, just like the 2nd fret of your 5th string. And together, you can put that on there. Now this is a bar chord, and you can move it up. There's a D bar chord right there. There's a C bar chord, but you're going for the B. That's going to be your hardest one for this song. The other one is, you do a G later, you drop down to an F. Now, an F is the same thing as the B. You can go down to the bottom tonality wise, but top string, which is your 6th string. See how you're up here on the B note, A, 5th string, A sharp, B. That's what makes this a B chord, right? So the way I do the F chord is I put my ring finger on the 3rd fret of the 5th string, right there. Then I put my pinky finger on the 3rd fret of the 4th string. Then I put my middle finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, and then I lay my index finger over the 1st fret of the 1st and 2nd strings, which is your E and your B. And that's an F chord without having to bar it. Like you're barring your B up here, like I just showed you. But then when you come down here, you don't have to do that. You can do that, right? And then you've got your C in the middle of the chorus. In between the lines, it walks down by going C, B, A, right? So you're holding the C chord. Don't take your finger off. Okay, so get that C chord up real quick. Remember, you got your index finger on the 1st fret of the 2nd string. You never take that off for all 3 of these chords. You're gonna remove these 2. You're going to put your middle finger on the B note, your 2nd note of your 5th string, leaving all the strings open. And then you're going to go back to that A minor, which is right there. So, but if you do want to try to learn to pick it, it's this. And I'm going to show it to you more in the song's context in just a second, but that's the way I do it. Now I go 5, 4, 2, 3. See, I got these off, and I'm just holding that 2nd fret of the 5th and the 1st fret of the 2nd. You could pick straight down if you want. See that? 5, 4, 3, 2, 5, 4, 3, 2, A. Go back to that A chord. 5, 4, 3, 2, 5, 4, 3, 2, A. I like going, adds a little bit of body to it. So let me show you how the chords work in context of the song real quick here. Starts off with the opening is like a G down to an A. And I think they're putting their pinky on the 3rd fret of the 1st string in there as well. Now I think Keith is actually playing an open tuning on this. I haven't looked it up because I'm doing it. This is standard tuning. And they're not doing the whole G, they're just doing this. You can hear it's real high-endy and kind of weird sounding. I think that's because he's got like an open tuning. So it's... You don't have to do the pinky, but if you want to, once you get your A in position that I showed you, just add, if you can, it's a tough one, add your pinky to the 3rd fret of the 1st string. And it's kind of a G over A. And then it goes to that B, which is going to be hard for you beginners, but give it a shot. Childhood living down to the G. Does that twice. E, down to a G, G. Now it goes to that A. Things that you see, C, D, G. I've bought them for D. Now it repeats itself. So I'm not going to sing this time. I'm just going to call out chords. Ready? B, down to a G. B, down to a G. Up to an A. Up to a C. C to a D to a G. Back to that D. So that's the, you repeat that twice to create the verse. And what you can do is when you hit that final D, when you kind of go back to the G and then go up to the D to end off the round, you can have a little fun with your playing. If you haven't watched my other videos, I love doing this it's very simple, but it adds a little flavor to it. What you're doing is you're taking your standard D that I showed you, and you're putting your pinky down on the 1st string, 3rd fret, and then also lifting your middle finger off of your 2nd fret of your 1st string and back. So you're doing your bottom E, your 6th, your 1st string, the bottom string here, open. So it's... Let's go ahead and play that real slow here. Ready? And we'll do 2 rounds. And then we'll move into the chorus. 1, 2, 3, 4. B, G, B, G, A, C, up to a D and G, up to that D, back to the B, down to a G. And I'll show you strumming patterns in a minute. Back to the B, G, A, C, up to that D and G. That's your quickest change in the whole song. Now it goes to the chorus. So what I'm doing on strumming patterns here is kind of that. I always change it a little bit. I'm never exactly consistent because I'm not in a I'm not in a tribute band where I got to play everything and look like Keith Richards or something silly like that. It's just, do it the way it feels good to you. Down, 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 down. And notice how I kind of start with the root note, maybe the root note plus 1. See that? The 5 and the 4. Because it takes me a second to get my finger there. I'm just not that great at just grabbing onto the neck in the whole thing. So I get established, then I add that middle finger after the fact. So when I go up to that B, see how I get the note, get the 3 strings, the 2 strings, or just the B at the top by itself, then kind of lay that in there once you're established. So it's, don't ever think that you have to just come up with a whole chord right at once, and that'll discourage the heck out of you if you just don't give yourself a little leeway to establish it and then kind of come in and play it. Now, the way I do it, if you're brand new, just down, 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 down. But if you're a little bit more experienced, try doing it this way. Down, up, 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 down, up. And that's down, up, down, up. And you're muting there. You're making sure you're muting with your palm on just in front of the bridge, right on the strings, for especially that part right there. Down, up, down, up. Notice how there's a little flam in between there? Go ahead and try this with me real quick. You're going to go down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. The little kicker in between. So I'm kind of down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. You'll notice that on a lot of songs, you can do that. Kind of just get your own little groove going. And you're not even hitting your pick. You're kind of just rubbing the thumb right here, the inside of your thumb. And then when you want to strike the actual note and you're not just adding a little percussion in between, you actually use your pick. You'll get used to it. See that? So it's really the second part that you got to hit more than the first part. You kind of hit the root note. So hopefully that made sense for you. Now let's get into the chorus. The chorus is almost the same as the verse, except for we add the F and that walk down. So it starts off with the Wild Horses. After you go to that D, you know that. My hand. Here we go into the chorus. A wild C, C, D, G, down to that F I showed you, up to the C, that walked on. Second part, wild horses couldn't drag me in. Kind of hold that, and then you go to the F. This is that little bridge with all the harmonics. Back to the verse. Let's take the very end of the verse again and go through the chorus real slow. So here we go. Slide through your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Y on C, C, D, G. Down to an F, up to a C. A, C, C, D, G. Couldn't take F. So I'm just kind of picking 1, 2, and 3. If you want to check out some of this filler stuff that happens, go to the intermediate section and check that section out. But that's basically the song. I mean, there's some harmonics in there, and if you want to know where harmonics are on your neck, if you go to your 7th fret, where the fret bar is, and you just barely rest your finger on top of the string, and I'll be doing a video on actual harmonics. You can... And then also on your 12th fret, right over the fret, not over the space between the frets, but this time it's right over the actual fret bar. Those are called harmonics, if you don't know. That's the other thing you're hearing in there that sounds like bells. So check that out as well. So that's it. Hopefully that all made sense to you guys and you got something out of it. If you like our videos, please hit like and subscribe. That'll help our channel grow. If you want to check out another video, go ahead and click this link right down here. If you want to go ahead and check out our channel and see all our videos, click that link over there. We'll check you on the next one. Thanks for watching.